Well, hey, Delano, I'm currently here at Place de la Nation. This is where the demonstration kicked off. The bulk of the march has headed towards Bercy. That's where the march is going to end. But there is, as you can see, there's still some remaining protesters here with me. We spoke to the organizers of the protesters, so Youth for Climate. They say they're very pumped up by the figures and the turnout that we saw in Australia. I'm actually joined by Victor here, 15 years old, a high school student from just outside of Paris. You're part of Youth for Climate. Now, what are you marching for today?
Well, we have revendication. It's the same all the time, and we are marching for the same. We want France and the other countries, of course, but we are in France, and we want France to take big laws, big things to strike to tackle climate change, and we want like zero carbon not zero carbon, but being carbon neutral in 2030, and they definitely know that. They know our revendications, and this is important to continue to strike, because if we don't strike anymore, they won't. They will think, they're over with that, and we're not over, and we won't stop striking until we will have great measures.
So you want to keep the message strong. Are you excited about the turnout in Paris today?
Well, there is a lot of persons, but I'm always saying this is never enough. We want a big mobilization, and tomorrow in Paris we will have La Marche du Siècle. It's about climate justice and also social justice. But I'm always hoping for more persons. But I was at the first march in Paris from Opéra to République, and we were only 5,000, and I think we are definitely more than 5,000 today. I don't know if we're the same number than in March the 15th.
But you're hoping for a big turnout today. And as Victor said, there's going to be a big march tomorrow as well, so maybe there'll be a bigger turnout over the weekend. They're expecting what they call a black weekend in terms of turnout.
Now, Flo, recently we had French scientists who came out with a report saying the rate of global warming is, worse than previously thought. What more was in that report?
Well, Delano, that was a very alarming report that came out this week by France's top scientists. So we're talking about the meteorologist from Météo France, but also a scientist from the CNRS, so that's the National Center for Scientific Research here in France. And they said, according to their simulations, that global warming could be a lot worse than was originally forecast. They said that if things go terribly wrong, well, global warming could increase by 7 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. So pretty terrifying stuff. Victor, how do you feel about the future?
I think global warming and all these studies will become worse and worse and worse every day if we don't act now. And to all the persons that don't believe in science, there is nothing to do if you don't believe in science. This is like our top scientists. We're in France. We're like in one of the best innovation and scientific countries. It's very, 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 very important to act now. And
do you feel responsible for your future?
Yes, of course I am. I don't know if I want children, but if I have children, I want them to grow in a sane environment, and I don't want them to have a classmate or them that dies because of a big storm or drought or things like that. I don't want them to do that, and I want to act now because we are the first generation that knows about climate change, and we will never have an opportunity like that to stop it.
So now is the time for action.